Hello, welcome to another recap video. This drama is about a 28-year-old boy named Akiyasu Shin, who is a civil servant. He's a workaholic person who isn't interested in relationships and love at all. There is this new government program called NEET Protection Law, which pairs government employees with NEET in order to bring them back to society and change their lifestyle. Shin is chosen as the first test subject to see the effects of this program. He agrees to participate in this program because they've promised him a promotion, and his work is very important for him, and he doesn't care whom he will marry to. They give him the address of his partner, whose name is Sawamoto Himari. Shin goes to this address to introduce himself as they should register their marriage. However, upon arrival, he notices that police is there. Neighbors had thought that something has happened to Himari, so they called police, but it turns out she is fine. Shin goes forward and introduces himself as her husband. They finally see that she's okay, so they leave. When everyone leaves, he tells her that she has been selected from the list to be partnered with him for test run of this program. Himari doesn't respond back and just closes the door on him. It is very shocking for him because all the participants have voluntarily signed up for this program, so he doesn't understand why she reacted this way and rejected to talk to him. He wants to find a way to talk to her and convince her. Himari is very confused too, and she suddenly remembers her grandmother who passed away 6 months ago. She told her that she won't leave her alone. Himari realizes that her grandmother has signed her up for this program, so she won't be alone after her. Shin again comes to her house again to have a conversation with her. She tells him that her grandmother has signed her up for this, and she doesn't want to get married to him. However, he doesn't seem to be convinced as he truly wants to get this promotion. She finally lets him come inside so they can continue their conversation. Himari tells him that she has finished middle school but didn't attend high school as she was living with her grandparents, and someone was needed to take care of them, so she spent her entire time doing housework and taking care of them. But now that both of them are gone, she doesn't have a reason to be happy or get married, as the only reason of her life now is the cat who has been with her for over a decade. She tells Shin to find another partner as he won't be able to change her life. When Shin leaves her house, a neighbor approaches him and tells him that Himari was a very cheerful girl, but after the death of her grandparents, she has become very depressed as they were the only ones she had, and now she rarely goes outside. Now Shin is more determined to convince Himari, so her life could get changed too. When he goes back, he sees Himari crying because her cat seems to be not okay. He calms her and tells her that everything will be fine. He assures Himari that he will take the cat to a good vet, and a similar situation had happened to his family's cat before. He takes them to a vet, and as they are waiting in the hallway, he sees that Himari is very nervous and worried to not lose her cat. He's trying to approach her and calm her, but at that moment, they come outside, and the doctor says everything is fine with the cat. Himari gets very happy, as she was worried of losing the only hope of her life. Shin tells her that he can bring happiness to her life and change her mood if she agrees to be part of this test run. He truly wants to help Himari after noticing how she has sacrificed her youth for her grandparents' happiness, so she deserves a happier life now. He takes her back home. Himari suddenly asks him what kind of tea he likes to drink. He gets very shocked to hear this and goes inside. She tells him to give her the papers as she will participate in this program as her grandmother wanted her to do, which will make her happy. Shin gives her the papers to sign. Her condition is that they should live in her house as she has many memories there, and it's difficult for her to move to a new house. He agrees to move to her house, but they decide to sleep in separate rooms as Shin doesn't look to this marriage as a romantic relationship. He believes that this is just for helping Himar to get back to society. Before registering their marriage, he runs back home and again asks her if she is truly okay to get married to him as it still isn't late, and she should say the final word. He doesn't want to pressure her. However, Himari says that it is better to live with someone else than being alone, so she prefers to get married to him even though they don't have feelings for each other. He gets happy to hear this and registers their marriage. The next day, she goes outside and sees that he has fallen down. Shin tells her that this house is very old and it needs some maintenance. He tells her that the first thing to do is to go shopping to buy the necessary tools for fixing the issues of the house. Himari gets excited and wants to look pretty when she goes out with Shin. He is very surprised when he sees her smiling because from the moment that he saw her, she looked very sad and depressed. They start shopping, which is very exciting for her to go shopping with another person and choose the items together. Shin makes sure that she feels good during their shopping and cheers her up whenever she chooses to buy something. She picks couples cups and keeps looking at him with a wide smile. He starts to find her cute and naturally smiles when he looks at her. They buy all the necessary tools and he starts fixing the house. She enjoys looking at Shin, who is helping her, and she prepares tea and food for him to get some rest. This isn't only new for her, as it is new for him too, as Shin has never truly cared for someone else in his life, and this is the first time that he wants to make another person happy and bring joy to her life. When she's alone at home, she hears some weird noises from the yard. There is a boy there named Takumi. He's their new neighbor, so he just wanted to see who is living at this house. Shin comes back home from work and sees that Himari is playing with this boy, and they have become close to each other. Takumi introduces himself to Shin and tells him that he has ran away from his house as his father didn't let him to play games. Himari tells Shin to let him stay until his father comes. She goes to kitchen to bring lunch, but notices that she forgot to cook something with meat as she is used to eat vegetables only. Shin threatens Takumi to not complain about the food. They both eat it, and it is actually very delicious despite being a simple dish with potatoes. When his father comes to pick him up, Himari hides behind the door as she is having difficulty communicating with strangers. Shin introduces himself as Himari's husband. Takumi gets shocked and says that he thought they are siblings as they don't look like a couple at all. His words affect Shin as he starts thinking that he wanted Takumi to see them as a couple, but not as siblings. The next day, when he comes back from work, Takumi is again there. This time, he has helped Himari to find a new recipe online, so they cooked something together. She wants him to taste it and give his honest opinion. Shin tastes the food and says that it's very delicious. She says that she's very happy that he likes the food, and it cheered him up. Shin is moved by her words and actions, that she cares a lot about him, and tries to learn new recipes to cook delicious food for him to make him happier. He has a gift for her. It is a smartphone for her, as she doesn't have a phone. He says that he wants to communicate with her, so it is better to have a phone with her. This makes her very happy. Takumi asks Himari to go to amusement park together. She joins them and keeps sending pictures to Shin. He's very happy to see her enjoying her time and going outside with others because she used to stay at home all the time without talking to anyone else. On his way home, he sees them, and Himari runs to him while looking a little sad. It turns out her phone is broken, and the person responsible for it is Takumi. He did this as she kept texting Shin. She approaches Takumi and tells him it is okay, and she will spend her entire time with him the next time they go out together. Takumi apologizes to her and starts crying. When they go back home, she starts crying and apologizing to Shin for breaking the phone which he gifted to her. Shin says that she shouldn't cry over a phone which isn't important at all. He wipes off her tears and wants to hug her to calm her. However, at the moment that he's approaching her, someone rings the doorbell which interrupts this romantic moment. He opens the door, and his co-workers are there coming there to congratulate him for his marriage. One of his co-workers is Yoshira Waka, who introduces herself to Himari as Shin's ex-girlfriend. Himari didn't know that Shin had dated before, but they have broken up about 2 years ago. Waka isn't happy about Shin's marriage news. She keeps telling him that he shouldn't have accepted to join this program just to get a promotion, but Shin now sees her as just his co-worker and nothing more. Himari doesn't ask anything from him because she trusts him and doesn't want to bother him with his past. Waka decides to visit Himari again when she's alone to convince her to get divorced from Shin. She thinks that it will be easy to change Himari's mind as she doesn't have feelings for Shin. She prepares all the papers for divorcement and gives them to Himari when she visits her house and advises her that this program won't be beneficial for her at all. She starts talking about her relationship with him. Waka says that one day she noticed that he doesn't like her at all and doesn't spend time with her, so she suggested to break up with her, and he accepted quickly. Waka says that Shin isn't a man who will make her happy. When Shin gets back home, Himari forces him to sit and have a conversation with her. She shows him the divorce papers and tells him what has happened. Himari tells Shin that he has broken Waka's heart even if it was unintentional, so he should apologize for breaking her heart years ago because her eyes looked very sad. He actually listens to her words, and after their meeting, he approaches Waka and invites her to their house to have a conversation together with Himari, as he doesn't want to hide anything from her. She accepts his invitation. He doesn't want to leave a bad impression on Himari, so he wants to clear everything between him and Waka. Waka goes to their house, and Shin starts the conversation. He apologizes for his rude behavior in the past, but he didn't break her heart intentionally. He says that it is true that he got married to Himari because of the program, or else he wouldn't think about marriage at all. However, he now wants to do anything to make her happy and change her life, and he has no intention of getting divorced from her. Waka sees that he truly likes Himari, which she has never seen him getting emotional for anyone else before. Himari is moved by his words that he cares for her a lot. At night, as they are watching the sky, he starts smiling and telling him that she's happy that he suddenly came to her life and brought happiness to it. Shin grabs her hand and tells her that he feels very calm and comfortable when he's with her. They start to become more like a real couple as they go shopping together and enjoy their time together. When they come back from shopping, they hear violin sound. He rushes inside and sees that his younger brother Akiyasu Sho is playing violin there. Shin hasn't told his family about his marriage, so his brother gets shocked to know that Shin got married, as he knew that his brother opposed marriage. Sho has ran away from home as his parents don't let him pursue music. He now stays at Shin's house. Himari suddenly calls Shin when he's at work and tells him that his parents are there. He gets shocked about this news and runs to get home. He doesn't want his parents to treat Himari badly. His parents have always been harsh to him and made decisions for him about his major, career, love life, and everything else in his life. He doesn't want the same thing to happen to his brother. He wants to defend Sho, so he can at least pursue his dream and become a musician. Sho locks himself with Himari in the room. Shin faces his parents, who start complaining to him about his sudden marriage. His mother tells him that he should have got married to a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or someone with a high education. This marriage doesn't suit him at all. His father stays silent without saying anything. Shin suddenly explodes and says that they've never tried to understand him and his brother. He tells his father that he has never spent time with him, and their continuous pressure has made him become emotionless and only care about work, but Himari has given him the warmth and happiness that he has never experienced before. He says that he has no intention of leaving Himari. Himari had fallen asleep as they stay locked in the room. She then wakes up and sees that Sho is asleep. She decides to go downstairs to see what is going on there. Shin's parents went outside to do some shopping. He apologizes to her for making her feel uncomfortable, as he has never been very close to his family. She wants to get close to his family members and create a good family environment. His parents come back home, and his mother wants to prepare a meal for them. They seem to regret for what they said earlier. Himari joins her in the kitchen to prepare food. Himari tells his mother that she has never seen her mother, so Shin is very blessed to have an awesome mother like her. Shin's mother realizes that Himari is a good girl who can make her son happy. She tells her that she can call her mom if she wants to. Himari goes outside and tells Shin that her mother is very sweet. She shows him his childhood photos and tells him that he seemed to love his father a lot, because in all the pictures, he is staring at the person who is taking the photos, which is his father. Shin realizes that his parents actually care for him a lot. They have just been a little strict to him. They go to Sho's room and tell him to join them for dinner, so they can gather as a family together. They sit around the table to enjoy eating dinner together. His father says that he doesn't want Sho to leave their house, as the house will feel empty without any child in it. Shin assures him that he will take care of Sho for the time that he stays at their house. All of them start laughing and enjoy their time together. As they are leaving, Himari suddenly calls them mother and father, and tells them that she's very happy to be able to call out these words for the first time and enjoy the feeling of having parents. Sho is staying at their house. Himari wants him to feel comfortable with them and tells him that whenever he feels sad or depressed, he can come to her and share his worries with her, and she will help him. She's very happy to have more people around her now and wants to take care of them. Himari tells Shin that she wants to throw a birthday party for Sho as his birthday is coming up. He gets excited for this as they have never gathered for his birthday before. She decides to bake a birthday cake for him, which is her first time baking a birthday cake. Her initial attempts at baking the cake are unsuccessful, and she sends the photos to Shin. However, she doesn't give up because this is her first time preparing a surprise party for another person. Shin keeps encouraging her. She goes outside to buy more flour where she suddenly sees Shin on the other side of the road. As she is crossing the street, she suddenly falls down. She's unable to stand up, and a truck is approaching her. Shin gets very worried and runs to her to protect her. Fortunately, the truck doesn't hit her. He is very worried for her and makes sure that she's okay. He then hugs her tightly and says that he feels relieved that she's fine, as he doesn't know what he would do if something happened to her. Shin is slowly developing feelings for her without him realizing it. He hurts his knee as he threw himself in front of her. When they arrive home, she treats his wounds carefully and thanks him for caring for her. As Himari is leaving, he calls her and asks for a favor. He asks her if he can hug her. Himari is first shocked to hear this, but she then happily opens her arms and tells him that he can hug her. Shin slowly approaches her and gently hugs her. He now values her more as he realizes that he can't live without her. After their hug, whenever he tries to approach her, she pulls herself back and runs away from him. He doesn't know the reason that she keeps avoiding him after the day that he hugged her. The day of the birthday comes. They start preparing the house. He accidentally touches her hand. She pulls her hand away from his and again runs away. Shin doesn't ask her why she's doing this because he doesn't want to make her feel uncomfortable. Sho gets very happy that they have prepared all this for him and thanks her for baking the cake for him. Sho tells his brother that he wants to go back to home as his family need him. He thanks him for letting him stay at their house and says that Himari has encouraged him a lot and she's a great wife for him. Shin is now afraid of being alone with Himari as he doesn't think he can control his feelings anymore. His brother starts teasing him that he should start sleeping in her room. Shin gets angry at him. His brother starts laughing and realizing how Shin is truly in love now. One day, Himari comes and sees that Shin is sleeping on the floor. She puts blanket on him and starts staring at him. She tells him that Sho just left to go back home and that she's happy to have a kind husband like him, who is also a great brother. She then falls asleep next to him. He then wakes up and sees her beside him. He gets very happy to see her sleeping next to him. He remembers his brother's words and sees that he was right, that he can't control his feelings for her anymore. He then approaches her slowly to kiss her. As he's getting closer and closer, she suddenly wakes up and he starts apologizing for what he wanted to do. He thinks that she doesn't have feelings for him and apologizes for keep getting closer to her. However, Himari pulls him towards herself and kisses on his cheek. She says that she likes it when he gets close to her. It's just that she felt shy. One day when she's outside, her middle school friend Makoto sees her and approaches her. They get happy to see each other after many years. On his way home, Shin sees them together and hides quickly. He gets very jealous to see her with another man. He follows them as Makoto takes Himari back home. Shin then shows himself and comes forward, so Makoto would know that Himari has husband now. They invite him to go inside. Makoto and Shin start having a conversation with each other. Shin tells him the truth about their marriage, and Makoto says that this isn't the right way of getting married without any love. When he wants to leave the house, he offers Himari to meet him again as he is in this city for only a couple of days. Shin encourages her to go because he wants her to spend time with her friend, even though he feels jealous about this. They go outside together. Himari starts talking about Shin and how he has changed her life. He tells her that he's noticed how much more she's smiling now, but this isn't the right way of forming a family. He offers her to be with him as he has feelings for her. However, Himari says that she wants to protect her new family and wants to do anything to make Shin happy because he's the reason of her joy now. Makoto asks her if he can hug her for the last time and then he will leave. He hugs her while he's crying. Makoto packs his stuff to leave, but before leaving, he meets with Shin. He tells him to take good care of Himari and make her happy all the time. Shin says that his only goal is to make her smile. They both have the same goal of making each other happy. Shin gets home and sees that Himari is lying on the floor. He thinks that she has fainted, but then sees that she's drunk. She starts smiling and dancing around the room. He then hugs her to carry her to her room so she can sleep there. Shin had never thought that he will fall in love with a girl whom he had never met before, but Himari has changed her life completely, making him realize that working isn't the only thing that he should focus on, as his relationship with her now is very important for him. He is sleeping beside her. Himari wakes up and sees that he's sleeping there, which makes her happy. As he's leaving the room, he suddenly stops, turns around, and confesses his feelings to her for the first time by saying, "I love you." She quickly replies back by saying, "I love you too." It took them some time to realize their feelings for each other and confess their love, but they now know about each other's feelings. He gets very happy, as he was afraid that his love is one-sided. Himari has always been alone, but now she has someone who loves her a lot. Waka visits their house and gives them tickets, so Shin and Himari can go on a trip together. They did this so this couple can have a proper honeymoon, which they didn't have. Himari gets very excited for this opportunity and tells Shin that they must go on this trip, as she thinks that they will spend a great time there. Shin agrees to go on this trip with her, as he also wants to spend more time with her. They pack their stuff and go to this trip together. They start walking in the streets, going to restaurants, eating ice cream together, and going to many other interesting places together, which makes them both happy. At night, they go their room. However, Shin is very nervous that they will sleep in the same room next to each other, so he keeps walking in the room alone. When Himari comes, he doesn't want to show his nervousness. He wants to avoid being in the room alone with her because he feels very nervous. This is his first time, so he doesn't know how to behave in this kind of situation. However, Himari tells him to not feel nervous and pulls him towards herself. They hug each other tightly, and then they spend the night together. Now it's morning. Himari wakes up, and she's very happy to see Shin sleeping next to him. When he also wakes up, he notices that she's crying, so he gets worried that something happened. However, Himari says that she can't express in words how happy she's now that she's with him. Shin confirms that he feels the same way. They have enjoyed their trip together, thanks to Shin's coworker and his ex-girlfriend, who wants to help his new relationship. They hold hands and decide to go back, as he needs to go back to work. Shin is ordered to report every single detail of their relationship to his boss for this program, so they would know how things are going as test subjects. However, he doesn't want to report his private life and the details about his romantic interactions with his wife to others. He decides to resign from his job and pulls himself and Himari out of this project. One day, Himari accidentally sees the papers related to this matter which were in his bag. However, Shin tells her to not worry about anything, as he'll fix everything. In the past, he only thought about getting promoted, but now he's ready to give up his job in order to protect his wife's privacy, as he sees Himari as his true wife. Himari gets to know about this matter. She tells him that she's fine about him reporting about her. She says that she got to know him because of this program, so he shouldn't lose his job, that he likes it a lot, for only the reporting issue. Himari doesn't want him to ruin his future and career because of this. Shin is convinced, but has thought about a way of fixing this issue. Before doing anything, he buys wedding rings and gives it to her, asking her to be his wife. They are already married now, but he wants to officially ask her to be his wife. She gets very happy and accepts to be his wife. He then puts on the ring for her, and they officially become a real couple, which he wants everyone to see them as a real couple. He goes to work and brags about his new ring. Everyone gets happy about this news. He then goes to meet his boss. He firmly says that he and his wife will continue to be in this program, but he won't report the private matters to him because he wants to keep his romantic life's privacy. He's able to protect both his wife and keep his job at the same time. This is all thanks to Himari's wise advice. He goes back home, and both of them feel relieved and happy. They lie on the bed together. Shin hugs her from behind and tells her that he has fixed everything, so she shouldn't worry about that matter anymore. They both are wearing their wedding rings. Their happy life begins from here, but there is something that comes in the way, which is the dreams that she keeps having. She suddenly sees a little girl in the house. She follows the girl, and she then sees herself outside with that girl, and the girl keeps saying, "Please don't leave, Mom, please don't leave." She then wakes up, and it turns out that it was a dream, but it feels very real to her. A news reporter is assigned to go to take pictures of Himari and Shin. This program was meant to stay as a secret before its competition, but this agency has received some news about the test subjects. The reporter goes to Himari's house and starts taking pictures of her. Takumi comes to her house. He sees the reporter taking pictures. He apologizes and then leaves without telling them why he was there. However, this doesn't end here. They use the pictures that he took and publish them in an article saying that this neat girl joined this program and uses her husband's money without doing anything. The reporter feels bad and comes back to her house. He apologizes for this matter. Himari says that it is okay because she doesn't care what others say about her, as she knows that Shin is not thinking about her like that. Shin says that he will reject all these things in the article and won't let anyone hurt Himari. Himari suddenly starts feeling dizzy and everything becomes blurry for her. She then faints. Takumi is there, so he calls ambulance. Shin is at work when he receives a call telling him that his wife is at the hospital. He doesn't hesitate and rushes to get there as he's very worried about her. Himari keeps having that dream while she's asleep. Shin gets to the hospital. Doctor says that everything is okay with her as she fainted because of lack of sleep, as she was not able to sleep these days because of her continuous dreams. Shin feels relieved that nothing is wrong with her. He goes to her room and she's awake now. He grabs her hand. She tells him that she has remembered something very sad and bitter from her past, which she'd never remembered it before. She remembers how her mother abandoned her when she was little, but she doesn't talk about this to Shin, and just says that she remembered a bitter memory of the past. Doctor tells Himari that she's pregnant. She wants to tell this news to Shin. When he hears about this, he gets very happy that he will become a parent. However, Himari is afraid of becoming a parent. She again keeps having that same dream, which makes her even more scared, but she again refuses to tell Shin about this. One day, when Shin comes back home from work, he notices that Himari is not at home. He calls her, but her phone is at home. He rushes outside to find her, as he gets worried that something might have happened to her. After searching for some time, he finds her sitting on a bench. He runs to her. Himari has decided to tell him about her secret. She says that her mother abandoned her when she was little, so she is afraid of becoming a parent. She isn't sure if she can become a good mother for their child, which makes her worried. Shin grabs her hand and tells her that he will be by her side, and they will together raise their child and assures her that she'll be a great mother. Shin's words calm her and make her believe that she will be a great parent for their child. The next day, Shin comes home and tells her that his boss has removed them from the list of the test subjects for this program, so now they are free from any reporting and they can be a real couple. Himari says that she's thankful of her grandmother for signing her up for this program as she met him through this. They go back home, and Himari is now happy to become a mother soon. The next day, they hear the doorbell. They go outside, and Shin's parents are there all dressed up. They get very surprised. Her mother says that they want to throw a wedding party for them. They have brought wedding dress for Himari. They both go and get dressed to attend the wedding party. Shin is stunned by Himari's looks as she wears the wedding dress. Everyone is there celebrating their wedding with them. Himari thanks everyone for making her life meaningful and give the warmth in her life that she lost after her grandmother's death. After the scenes of their wedding, the scene is suddenly changed to the future. The drama ends where their child is born, and all three of them are lying on the floor together. Himari thanks both of them for entering her life. Shin also thanks her and their baby girl for making his life meaningful. They then start playing with their daughter and live happily together. Both their lives have changed after their marriage. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for upcoming recap videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Bye everyone.